Welcome back to Rich Mind. Today, we're diving into a serious issue that's been affecting millions of Indians, the current tax system. Specifically, how this tax regime has been burdening the middle class, forcing many business owners and traders to consider relocating abroad due to India's high taxes. If this continues, we could be looking at long-term economic and social consequences. The growing tax burden. Let's start by looking at how the Indian tax system has evolved. In the last few years, we've seen a significant increase in taxes, especially on capital gains. In the Union Budget 2024, the tax rate on long-term capital gains, LTCG, rose to 20%, up from 12.5%, while short-term capital gains jumped from 15% to 20%. This is a massive blow for investors, particularly middle-class individuals trying to save and invest for their future. Why is this important? Investments in stocks, gold, and real estate are no longer attractive due to the removal of indexation benefits on assets like property. For example, if you bought a property for 10 lakh in 2000 and sold it for 1 crore today, the taxes you'd owe would jump from 4 to 6 lakh to around 11 to 12 lakh. This is crippling for those trying to build wealth over the long term. The impact on daily lives now. Let's talk about how these high taxes are affecting everyday life. India's tax revenue for FY 2024 to 25 is projected to be 38.4 lakh crore, with 22.07 lakh crore coming from direct taxes. However, despite this enormous revenue, what are citizens getting in return? The quality of roads, healthcare, and education has barely improved. Infrastructure projects are moving slowly, and the public is feeling cheated. People are paying more but receiving less. The exodus of entrepreneurs' high taxes are pushing traders and business owners to move abroad. Countries like the UAE, Singapore, and even Estonia offer lower tax rates and more favorable business environments. For example, in Estonia, corporate tax is a flat 20%, but it only applies to distributed profits, making it a tax haven for startups. India, by contrast, keeps raising its tax rates, making it difficult for businesses to thrive. Corporate tax rates for foreign companies have been reduced from 40% to 35%, but this only benefits multinationals, not small businesses or domestic entrepreneurs. If this trend continues, India risks losing its talent and capital, which could destabilize the economy in the long term. Social consequences. The economic impact of this tax regime is not limited to individuals and businesses. It has wider social implications. The wealth gap in India is widening. The middle class, which forms the backbone of the economy, is shrinking, while the wealthy elite continue to accumulate more wealth. As investments become more expensive, social mobility declines, and the gap between the rich and the poor grows. This creates a vicious cycle. High taxes lead to less investment, which leads to lower growth, and in turn, higher taxes to make up for budget deficits. Eventually, this could lead to a breakdown in the social structure as people lose trust in the government's ability to provide basic services like education and healthcare. What needs to change? What's the solution? India needs a more progressive tax system that doesn't disproportionately burden the middle class and small investors. Reducing long-term capital gains tax back to 12.5% and restoring indexation benefits could reignite investment in real estate and stocks. Moreover, improving the quality of public services, roads, education, healthcare, could restore public trust and make the tax burden feel more justified. Finally, the government needs to create a business-friendly environment. Lower taxes on domestic entrepreneurs and more favorable investment policies would prevent the exodus of talent and capital, helping India grow sustainably. In conclusion, if the current tax regime continues to squeeze the middle class and stifle investment, we're headed for trouble. People and businesses will continue to seek opportunities abroad, and India will be left behind. It's time for the government to rethink its tax policies and work toward a fairer, more equitable system. This is Rich Mind. reminding you to think smart about your financial future.